Welcome to Construction Management and Entrepreneurship Tutorial Class 2. Today we are going to discuss different topics such as planning, importance of planning, characteristics of a planning, and different types of plans used in an organization. So, what do you mean by a planning? Planning is fundamentally a mental predisposition to do things in an orderly way, to think before acting, and to act in light of facts rather than the guesses. We can also define the planning as it is fundamentally choosing the function before raising a problem. Or we can also say it is a decision in advance about what to do, why to do, when to do, where to do, and how to do, and who is to do. Planning bridges the gap from where we are to where we want to go. Planning is deciding in advance what is to be done. It involves the selection of objectives, policies, procedures, and programs from among alternatives. What are the different characteristics of a planning? The different characteristics of a planning are goal oriented, pervasive, continuous activity, intellectual process, futuristic, decision making, and managerial function. That means planning is a primary function of management. It precedes management process. It is a thinking process. It is an intellectual activity which is performed in the future. It is a set of decisions related to the future activities. Planning is flexible and it involves adjustment. It is a pervasive function which can be applied everywhere in all types of activities. It is basically a choosing process. It involves choice of the right alternative from available alternatives. It is goal oriented. It is directed towards achievements of goals. It is concerned with the future activities, that means forward looking. It is based on premises, that means it is prepared as per premises or expected condition. It is a continuous process which is prepared and implemented repeatedly. It is a time bound activity, that means it is always for a definite period of time. It is an integrated activity, that means it considered all activities of the organization. It is a base for controlling, that means controlling depends on the planning. So the importance of planning are reduced uncertainties and risk, better coordination, improved operational efficiency, easy implementation of change, base for controlling. These are the different importance of planning, and also it consists of basic functions and objectives. Reduce uncertainties and risk. Planning is proactive. Actions are taken before things happen. This reduces the risk and uncertainties. Since planning is based on systematic estimates of the future occurrence of events, a manager can reasonably project the future trend. Accordingly, he can devise the means and take precautions in advance. Manager is in position to take actions more accurately and precisely. Better coordination. Coordination is the soul of management. Higher coordination is the fundamental condition for satisfactory performance. It ensures meaningfully integrated efforts towards the achievement of goals. Planning integrates all the activities and resources of the organization. As planning considered all the departments of the organization, estimates their needs, and prepares general policies and rules for the entire organization. Improved operational efficiency. Efficiency implies ability of the organization to achieve objectives with fewer efforts, less cost, and within time. Planning can also contribute directly to improve overall efficiency. It focuses on objectives, establishes priority, achieves goals within given resources, ensures maximum contribution of each of the units, and maintains balance among various activities. Easy implementation of change. Planning is important for identifying and implementing essential changes. By constantly responding to business environment and welcoming the desired changes, the organization can enjoy attractive opportunities. This is necessary for growth and development on a continuous basis. Manager finds enough time to prepare for tomorrow's challenges and threats. In short, planned intervention is fundamental way to bring about the change successfully. The last one is base for controlling. Planning and controlling are interrelated and interdependent. Planning is the base for controlling. Controlling involves measuring and comparing actual results with the planned results. The next topic is classification of planning. Planning can be classified based on four characters. Number one, nature of planning. Number two, time horizon, number 3, scope and degree of details, and number 4, frequency of the use. Based on nature of planning, it can be classified as formal planning and informal planning. In formal planning, it is reduced to writing. That means when the number of actions are large, it is good to have a formal plan since it will help to adequate control. The term formal means official and recognized. Any planning can be done officially to be followed or implemented. Formal planning aims to determine the objectives of planning. It is the action that determines in advance that should be done. With respect to informal planning, it is the one which is not in writing, but it is conceived in the mind of manager. Informal planning will be effective when the number of actions is less and actions have to be taken in short period. Based on the time horizon, it can be classified as short-term plans, intermediate plans, and long-term plans. With respect to short-term planning, it is the planning which covers less than 2 years. It must be formulated in a manner consistent with the long-term plans. It is considered as tactical planning. Short-term plans are concerned with immediate future. It takes into account the available resources only and it is concerned with the current operations of the business. With respect to long-term plans, long-term planning usually covers a period of more than 5 years, mostly between 5 and 15 years. It deals with the broader technological and competitive aspects of the organization as well as allocation of resources over a relatively long time period. Long-term planning is considered as strategic planning. Short-term planning covers the period of 1 year, while long-term planning covers 5 to 15 years. In between, there may be a medium-term plans, which is usually called as intermediate plans, and it is between 2 and 5 years. These may include plan for purchase of materials, production, labor, and overhead expenses, and so on. With respect to based on scope and degree of details, it can be classified as strategic planning, intermediate planning, and operational planning. With respect to strategic planning, it is the process of determining overall objectives of the organization and the policies and strategies adopted to achieve those objectives. It is conducted by the top management, which include Chief Executive Officer, President, Vice Presidents, General Manager. It is a long range planning and may cover a time period of up to 10 years. It basically deals with total assessment of the organization capabilities, its strength and its weakness, and an objective evaluation of the dynamic environment. The planning also determines the direction of the company it will be taking in achieving these goals. With respect to intermediate planning, it covers time frames of about 6 months to 2 years and is contemplated by middle management, which includes functional managers, department heads, and product line managers. They also have the task of polishing the top management strategic plans. The middle management will have a critical look at the resources available and they will determine the most effective and efficient mix of human, financial, and material factors. They refine the broad strategic plans into more workable and realistic plan. With respect to operational planning, it deals with only current activities. That means it keeps the business running. These plans are the responsibility of the lower management and are conducted by unit supervisors, foremen, etc. These are short range plans covering a time span from 1 week to 1 year. These are more specific and they determine how to specific job is to be completed in the best possible way. Most operation plans are divided into functional areas such as production, finance, marketing, personnel, and etc. Even though planning at all levels is important, since all levels are integrated into one, the strategic planning requires closer observation since it establishes the direction of the organization. With respect to classification based on frequency of use, it can be classified into single use plans and standing plans. With respect to single use plan, it is which sets a course of action for a particular set of circumstances and is used up once the particular goal is achieved. They may include program, budgets, projects, and schedules. It is also called specific planning or single use plan in short range. With respect to standing plan, it is the one which is designed to be used over and over again. Objectives, policies, procedures, methods, rules, and strategies are included in standing plans. Its nature is mechanical. It helps executives to reduce their workload. Standing plan is also called as routine plan. Standing or routine plan is generally long range. The last one with respect to planning is it has got two basic components. One is the goal and the action. The goal is the target and results that managers hopes to achieve. The action is a statement or an objective which an organization goes ahead to attain the goal.